by the time the line for the explosion was over, it was like a little ways past 1, I think. So there was a panel that I kind of wanted to see that started at 1, but we missed that. So first I went over to the spot where the Libba Bray line was, because this was like 1:20, 1:30-ish. And I went over to the spot where the Libba Bray line was. She was at 2 o'clock. It was already like way down there, way around the building. And so I knew as long as that line was, there was no way I would be getting through that line and getting to Libba Bray at 3 o'clock, which was very disappointing since I really wanted to meet Libba Bray. Hopefully next year, maybe. So then we hightailed it over to where Libba Bray's line was, and her line, there was barely anyone in line, because this was 1:30 and her sighting was at 3 o'clock. So I was like, I guess I'll just wait. And then I'll be one of the first few people, since there weren't really that many people at all in front of me. So I just ended up waiting there, and again, my sister was super helpful, and so she went over to Panera Bread and got us sandwiches we could eat while we waited in line, while I kept the spot in line. And it was pretty good, because by the time that she got back actually from getting food, there were quite a few people behind me, so that worked out really well. Good to have a buddy with you at YALLFest. I definitely recommend it, because again, like she would get stuff while I was waiting. So definitely utilize your friends and bring friends with you, or make friends in line, and so you can eat, essentially. Because I heard some stories of people like, oh yes, I didn't eat all day and blah blah blah, and I'm like, that's not gonna work for me. So I got to meet Libba Bray, which was so much fun, because I love her books so much, and she's amazing, and I got books signed. I got 3 books signed, because that's what the limit was. She was super nice. I told her how much I loved her books. She personalized all of them, which was really cool. It says, oh, stay magical, Rebel Angels. Rebels always read. I also got the Dividers signed, which is on my shelf, but I don't feel like taking that out right now. And it says like, you are the cat's meow. It was really adorable. So that was super fun, since I've loved her books for so long. It was great to get to meet her. And after that, we pretty much just did one more panel. The last panel of the day was the Worst Advice Ever panel, and I really wanted to see that one because 1, it sounded funny, and 2, Susan Dennard was on that panel, and since I didn't actually get to meet her that day, I at least wanted to see her on the panel, which was my main goal, that if I didn't meet an author, I wanted to see them on a panel. The only author I didn't actually get to do that for was Maggie Stiefvater, so hopefully some other time I'll get to see her on a panel or something. Hopefully. So that panel was fun too, and I think I have like a clip or 2 from that panel, which I will show now.
The host guy whose couch we were sleeping on was asking me what I was doing, and at that point I was still like working in science, but also trying to get published. So I just finished Something Strange and Deadly and was writing a query letter and all that. And so I pitched it to him, and for the record, his English wasn't great. But his response was like, oh yeah, okay, like one of those trashy novels? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, zombies, I mean, that's pretty trashy. And I was like, I'm gonna hope this is a translation thing, because you're like breaking my confidence right now, man.
I once had an editor tell me that you can never have too many boys in a novel, and so he named my second book So Many Boys. And, yeah, true story. Adi, so I read in your bio, I told you this yesterday, that you're a salsa maker, and I was super excited because I am a salsa eater. What's the worst cooking advice, or like worst recipe or something like that you have?
So I was like watching Top Chef every day, except I had like 0 knowledge, and so I started by making salsa, because I was like, well, chop vegetables and throw them together and they do their own thing. And then when I started trying to expand beyond that without any real knowledge, I decided to make a Newcastle beer chicken. I don't know why. There was like, I was in college, there was probably a single Newcastle in the fridge, and then like a chicken breast. I was like, I know, I'll mix these 2 together, and I think I Like, I tasted the Newcastle, and I was like, maybe some nutmeg. And, you know, because somehow that made sense, and I cooked it, and I took one bite, I was like, and I'm out. We'll never make Newcastle chicken again.
Worst thing I've ever been told about witches? Gosh, that's a good question. This is a complete cheat answer, but I'm a really big fan of Terry Pratchett. And I love his witch books. I love them. Granny Weatherwax is like who I want to be when I grow up. And I remember this paragraph that really stuck with me about how people think of witches' sabbats and how they actually go. So it was like, you know, they're all sort of nubile, nude young women dancing on a mountaintop, you know, around a fire, being all sexy and stuff. And Terry Pratchett was like, no, they're all old. They go, they swap bread recipes, you know, around, and then they have like toasted marshmallows. And the reason that the former exists is because it was written by men, and the men would like to think that that is what happens at a witch's sabbat, but it is not, in fact, that at all. There you go.
That was an awesome answer. Okay, Susan, worst advice you got in college?
Oh my gosh. I knew this question was coming. And this is like my general worst advice that I think everyone gets. And bear with me, because it sounds terrible at first. I think the worst advice you can give anyone is to follow their dreams. The reason is because when you tell someone to follow their dreams, they assume that anything that they don't enjoy is therefore not their dream, and they give up on it. And the fact is that even the things you love the most kind of suck a lot of the time. I assume all of you guys would admit their writing like sucks a lot. And yet it's like my dream, right? It's like the one thing I want to do. But when in my earlier years I was trying to just follow my dream, I mean, anytime I would hit resistance, I'd be like, well, it must not be my dream. And the reason was that I didn't actually have the skills yet necessary to deal with those speed bumps. And so I actually think it's like far more better for all of us to develop lots and lots of skills and try every single thing, and then you'll discover at some point maybe what your dream actually is, and when you hit a roadblock, you won't just like back off and say, oh no, it must not be what I was destined to do. Instead, you'll be ready for the challenge, and you'll like keep working at it. So yeah, that's why. Don't follow your dreams. Learn lots of things, and then the right thing will come along.
So that was pretty much it for my YALLFest experience. It was super fun and met a lot of nice people. Like, everyone was super nice because, of course, they all love young adult books. But it was just a really fun experience, and you know, you get free books, you get to meet favorite authors. It was really fun. And my sister had a lot of fun too, because she also loves to read. Thank you so much for watching this. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I upload new videos on Mondays and every other Friday. So subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. And I'm going to film the YALLFest haul fairly soon. And once I do, I will link it in the cards above for you to watch. So you can stay tuned for that if you want to see everything that I acquired at YALLFest. It was super fun. So again, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye!